Well, hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, I want to share with you 10 tiny habits that you can use to live more sustainably. And I think sometimes we can fall into the trap of thinking that we need to make these massive, life-changing decisions to live in a more environmentally conscious way. But at the end of the day, what's going to have the biggest impact isn't a few people taking extreme measures. It's all of us taking small steps to take better care of the world that we live in. So I've got 10 tiny habits and small ways that you can begin to live more sustainably today. And I'm excited to get into that. But before we do, I want to share with you guys a bit about today's sponsor, Earth Hero. And I've been using Earth Hero for over a year now, and it is just such an incredible resource for anyone trying to live a more conscious lifestyle. And Earth Hero is really just a one-stop shop for anything eco-friendly. They vet all of the products before ever putting it on their website, whether that's the materials, the ingredients, the sourcing, all of that, so that you don't need to worry and you can basically just go on there and buy what you need. And they have so many products on there, whether you're looking for sustainably sourced clothing, more gentle and sustainable cleaning products, low waste swaps, and a whole bunch of other amazing things. They're also a certified B Corporation and a part of 1% for the planet, and all of their shipping is completely carbon neutral too. So if you're looking to start shopping more sustainably, I definitely recommend checking out Earth Hero. And throughout today's video, I will be mentioning some products that are available on Earth Hero, so I'll have all of those linked up for you in the description box below if you want to check those out. Okay, now though, let's get started with our first habit, and that's to use refillable products. And I love refillable products. They are one of the easiest ways just to automatically cut down on the amount of plastic that you're using and just packaging in general that you're consuming. And these days there are so many amazing refillable options available to us, whether that's refillable cleaning products, makeup products, and the list goes on. And what I'd recommend is just to look through what are the items that you own and are there any that you might be able to swap out for a refillable option. And one swap I made along those lines a couple years back was to invest in the Elate Cosmetics Brow Balm and Eyeshadow Palette. And what I love about these is they come in a bamboo compact, so it's completely plastic free. And all you need to do when the product runs out is switch out the refillable metal tins. And it's especially cool with their eyeshadow too, because if you want to, you can actually switch out the colors every time you run out of one, so you're not kind of stuck with the same 3 colors all the time, and you can just swap them out and create a customizable palette. So using refillable products is just one of those small, easy things you can do just to overall reduce your plastic consumption. Okay, and then number 2 is to flip the switch. And I get it, it can sometimes be hard to remember to turn off the light when you leave, or to get your whole family on board with remembering to turn off the light when they leave a room. But this is a really small yet powerful habit that you can cultivate to really save on your energy consumption. And the best part about this one is not only is it an easy way to live more sustainably, but it's also a great way just to lower your energy bill and to save money. And obviously, I know this one is kind of common sense. We all know, oh, I should turn off a light when I leave the room. But I want to encourage you to really develop the habit of actually remembering and taking the time to think about, oh, did I remember to turn the light off? And if you didn't, go back and do it. And over time, you'll be able to get to a place where you just do that automatically without even thinking about it. And this one is so easy, it's so quick, it's literally like flick and you're done. But that's really what we're talking about here. If we practice small habits like that consistently, we really can make a difference. And then number 3 is to find and implement sustainable swaps. And there are so many ways that you can begin to implement sustainable swaps in your home, whether that's switching out your dish sponge for a compostable vegetable-based sponge, which this one is. We've been using these for years and they're amazing. Or maybe you want to use stasher bags, which are reusable silicone bags instead of your traditional plastic baggies. And probably my most used sustainable swap is I love straws, and so I've been using a glass straw whenever I have my iced coffee or drink water. I just find it easier to drink from a straw. So having a glass straw is just an amazing option to your traditional plastic straw. So like I said, there are a lot of different options available to us when it comes to sustainable swaps. But my challenge to you is just to go throughout your home and see if you can identify 2 or 3 areas where you can make a more sustainable swap for something that was causing a lot of unnecessary waste in the past. I find that often it's not that we don't want to choose better and more sustainable alternatives, but more just that we haven't actually thought about or considered, oh, maybe I could actually use a more sustainable version of this item. So go through your house, reflect on it, think about it, and then make some of those sustainable swaps. One quick word of caution though, I don't recommend you going out and replacing perfectly usable items. If you identify a few areas and those items that you have aren't currently worn out, don't go out and replace it automatically. If you have a dish sponge that still works, don't chuck the usable dish sponge for a new one just because it's more sustainable. Finish using that sponge, wait a couple months until it gets a little bit gross, and then at that point, when you're looking for a replacement, invest in the sustainable alternative. That way, we're not throwing out perfectly usable products. We want to use what we have first and then replace. And then number 4 is to create and use a grocery kit. I think at this point, we all know that plastic bags just aren't helpful to the planet. And not only that, but they're really hard to recycle too. You can't just put them in your recycling bin. And so one small thing you can do to be more sustainable as you go grocery shopping is to create a grocery kit full of reusable bags that you can use as you go to the store. And there are so many cool reusable bags these days that fold up into the smallest little bundles. I love this one, and Bagito also has some really cool reusable bags as well. But I love just keeping a couple of these bags by the door at any time so that when I'm going to go to the grocery store, I can just grab them all at once and then be prepared so that I don't need to use any plastic bags while I'm at the store. And you really don't need a ton of these either. I think I usually carry 2 to 3 with me when I go to the grocery store. And that usually serves me pretty well. So just get a couple, make yourself a kit, and use it whenever you go grocery shopping. It's simple, it's easy, and just a small way we can live more sustainably. All right, and number 5 is to buy used. This one is pretty straightforward, but if you need something, try looking for it secondhand first. And the beauty of buying secondhand is that it gives us the opportunity to give new life to old objects which otherwise might have gone to waste. And that's so cool, but I think when most of us hear buy secondhand, we think of clothing first, and definitely buying secondhand clothing is a fantastic option. I just went thrifting the other day and I absolutely love it, but I'd encourage you to kind of expand your mindset and what you think about when it comes to buying secondhand. When Christopher and I were first furnishing our home, we bought a lot of furniture off of Facebook Marketplace or even at the thrift store. And thrifting can often be a great way too to find things like decor, kitchen utensils, and just other household items. And what's cool to me too is that nowadays looking secondhand doesn't even always mean that you have to buy something. There are so many different buy nothing groups on Facebook where people can just post things that they're looking to get rid of and find a new home for those items with someone else. So the next time you're needing something, whether that's clothing, a household item, furniture, or anything else, I just encourage you to look secondhand for that item first and use buying it new kind of more as your second or last resort as opposed to your automatic go-to. And 6 is to adjust temperatures seasonally. And this is another easy habit that you can implement to lower your energy and natural resource usage. Try keeping your household temperature a bit on the warmer side in the summer and on the cooler side in the winter. And obviously you can adjust the temperature range to whatever you're comfortable with. Maybe you want it to be pretty warm during the summer and pretty cold where you're bundling up during the winter. Or maybe you just want it to be a little bit less extreme but still noticeable. Regardless, even a few degrees of temperature difference really can have a huge impact on your overall energy consumption. And with this one, just like turning off the lights, it can also help you to save a lot of money, especially in the winter. And then number 7 is to use a menstrual cup. And I know that most of you guys watching are women, so this is for you. Guys, if you're watching, you're welcome. You can just skip over this part. But I've been using a menstrual cup for close to 10 years now. I definitely was using them before they were cool. But I have to say, not only is this a more sustainable swap, but for me personally, they just make my periods infinitely better. You don't need to deal with switching out pads and tampons every couple of hours. You basically just empty it twice a day, clean it out, and you're good to go. Also, I'm not going to show it on the screen because that's a little gross, but here's a picture of what they look like if you don't know. Aside from that practical piece though, a lot of period products are completely unsustainable. They're filled with plastic packaging, it's all single use, and you go through a lot of stuff, like literally boxes and boxes and boxes a year. With a menstrual cup though, you really can reduce waste so much because it's literally one item that you can use over and over and over again. I've had the one I use now for 3 or 4 years now, and it still works completely perfectly. Honestly though, this is one of those sustainable swaps that I just highly recommend, not only for the environmental benefits, but it just makes your life easier. And then number 8 is BYOC, bring your own cup. And I would say that apart from the packaging that's involved in grocery shopping and kind of the waste that comes from plastic bags and things like that, one of the other biggest areas where just in my day-to-day life I see a lot of waste is in a lot of different plastic cups, water bottles, different things like that being consumed, and then it's single-use plastic, so it's all just thrown out afterwards. And so one easy way to have an impact in that area is just to bring your own water bottle or your own to-go mug whenever you're leaving the house. This is my clean canteen, and it's pretty small and lightweight, but it just allows me to bring water with me wherever I go, which allows me not to use plastic water bottles, but it's also just an easy way to remember to stay hydrated. And then especially during the colder months where I might want a hot tea or coffee while I'm out, I'll also bring a reusable mug that I can either fill up ahead of time or get filled up wherever I'm going so that I can just have it on the go. And it's just one of those great things to have, but more than that, to get in the habit of bringing with you whenever you leave the house. That way you're never caught off guard, you're always prepared, and you can enjoy whatever your beverage of choice is on the go. And then we've got 2 left here. Number 9 is to revamp your laundry routine. Instead of using your traditional laundry products, try swapping out your products to more sustainable alternatives that are going to create a lot less mess as well. And there are a lot of products and resources out there that can help you do that, but a couple that I love and have been using for a while now are number 1, these True Earth Eco Strips. And I love these because they literally make the process of doing your laundry completely mess-free. All you need to do is get at one of the strips, tear it up, and throw it in your washer, and you're good to go. It takes up a lot less space than your traditional laundry detergent. It's completely plastic free, and you don't need to worry about any kind of liquid spilling and getting everywhere and just creating a mess. So those are great, but then I also love using these wool dryer balls as an easy replacement to dryer sheets. These last for a really long time, and they do the exact same job of being able to make it so that your clothes aren't staticky when you get them out of the dryer. So if you've been using laundry products for a while now that are less than sustainable, maybe it's time to give your laundry routine a bit more of an eco-friendly upgrade. And then finally, number 10 is to opt for less or no packaging. And obviously sometimes you won't have a lot of options in this area, but where possible, try to pick the option that doesn't involve packaging. So if you're grocery shopping and needing to buy apples, instead of buying the pre-packaged bag of apples, try picking out the loose apples instead. Or if you're shopping online, try to buy from companies that you know are going to be responsible about their packaging and not have tons of excess plastic packaging than maybe some with not as great of a reputation in that area. Honestly, I feel like some packaging with the world that we live in is completely unavoidable, but I think that it's important, and the small thing that we can do to, where possible, try to opt for the option or the version that's going to involve less or no packaging. All right, well, those are the 10 small habits that you can begin to implement today to start living more sustainably. And my encouragement to you isn't to try to do every single one of these at once, but instead try to identify a few that really stood out to you and begin making those small daily changes towards trying to live a more environmentally conscious lifestyle and to live more sustainably. That's everything I've got for you today though, guys, but a big thank you again to Earth Hero for partnering with me on today's video. And remember that if you're looking for an amazing resource to find more sustainable products, Earth Hero has got you covered, and all of the products from Earth Hero I mentioned today will be linked up for you in the description box below if you want to check those out. Now, I want to know though, what's one small habit that you've implemented or that you want to implement to start living more sustainably? Be sure to let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram, I'm at Ashlynne.Eaton on there. And thank you guys all so much for coming along with me. I hope you have an amazing day today, and I'll see you in the next one.